Oh, how fabulous. Hello and welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and in this episode we speak to a little pocket, I'm going to call her a pocket rocket because she is. She's a force of nature, this lady. Her name is Sue Wong, and I literally met her during COVID at the local cafe. She opened her cafe during COVID and we got to know each other through that. And I am so fascinated by her. I asked her to be a guest on the show and find out more about her life and what else she does. And she's so upbeat all the time. She taught me about the acronym YOLO, which I had no clue of. So there's that. But she is so much fun to listen to. I love her life. I love her take on life. And yes, and we talk about how she did open Blended Café during COVID. So there we go. Sue Wong. I hope you enjoy listening to this episode as much as I enjoyed connecting with Sue and finding out much more about her and her life. Hello and welcome to How Fabulous by Toni and Co. I'm Toni, and today we are talking to the very fabulous Sue Wong.
Hi.
Welcome, Sue.
Thank you for having me.
And that's Sue with a S-U, not a S-U-E.
No E.
Love it. I feel like I want to drop an E off everything.
I know.
Now, so when I met, I feel like it was more years ago, but we've just sort of traced it back, and Sue has opened a cafe called Blended Café in Chelsea, and you need to go there because the food is amazing.
Yes.
As is the coffee and the iced chocolates and the iced coffee, etc., etc. Now, she actually only opened through COVID.
Yes,
and I thought it was
COVID.
years before that we'd found you, but it was not.
No, so yeah, we actually opened pretty much in the middle of COVID.
Well, that's a brave move.
Yeah.
How did that all come about?
Well, we signed our lease in November 2019, so before COVID even happened. And then we were doing all our renos, getting everything done and organised. And by the time we were ready, it was like, hello, COVID.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so what went through your brain? Did you think, oh my goodness, I have to stop? Or?
Yeah, we were like, should we open? Should we just give it a go? Like, what should we do? And we're just like, you know what? YOLO, just do it.
What's YOLO mean?
Oh, you only live once.
Oh, writing that down and using it. You only live once. So this is what the young people are talking about. Such a generational. I'm like, what's YOLO? I love it. So it gives me all these fabulous words, as does Hattie. And so you did. You just went, right, we've done this.
Yep.
We're just going to keep moving forward with
Exactly. You're just going to push through it, get in it. If you can beat the hard times, you'll be there for the good times.
Yeah, and you strike me as that sort of person. So as it was, we met you through. Oh, here comes Wu-Tang Fang. Oh, hello, baby. We met you through COVID, so you must have been, because that would have been stop, start.
It was really stop, start, and I felt really inconsistent as well during 2020, because we'll be open and then we'll have to shut, and then we'll be takeaway only, then you can sit down, and then, you know, we're just like, oh God. It was kind of like you're running a marathon.
Yeah, an hour. So you only opened during the day, because we were doing our walk. That's when we started walking over COVID, and that's why we were literally walking past your cafe and went, hello, what's going on here? And then pork rolls, beautiful. Yeah. So and coffees, and so you weren't opening at night, so you were restricting it to the daytime.
Yeah, we were doing it during the daytime because we've noticed in Chelsea. Oh, I think I accidentally kicked your cat.
Get out.
But yeah, we were only opening during the daytime because we noticed by the time it hit like around 2-3 o'clock, no one was really on the streets.
Yeah.
And then we were like, oh, you know, don't think it's really worth it to kind of like extend the hours, and then you have electricity, you have like wages and all this other stuff. So like, you know what, we'll keep the peak hours and then we'll just go from there, kind of thing.
Yeah. And so now you've been open not even a year.
Yeah.
Not even a year. Wow. And so with the restrictions kind of easing off, you know, how have you found people sort of coming back and really wanting to get out?
Every day is like different. We have like our days that we're like really busy, and then we have a day that you can go completely quiet. So it's really like you just can't can't tell really, but it's been good, like seeing everything. But most people that come in as well that are new faces, they're like, oh my god, didn't even realize you were here.
There it is. It's about letting everyone know that you're out there and you're part of the Chelsea community. And so going back to, you know, how you got into the hospitality industry, because you're still so very young. And how did you, like, you started off after school, I'm going to be the owner of a cafe. Was that your, I'm going to do that? Because that was in New Zealand. Sue was born in
New Zealand.
Like me. Oh, we're probably related or
I know. Somewhere along there.
I feel it.
My dad's Chinese, your grandpa's Chinese.
And your name's Wong though, but we were a Fong.
No, I'm a Love.
Oh, that's right, you're a Love. That's it. Okay, so yeah, we're probably not. But it's nice to think that we are. Because, you know.
We're all related somehow.
Exactly. And so, brought up in New Zealand.
Yes.
But you don't remember much of...
Not really, no. To be honest, like, my childhood, I would just always remember just really playing outside. Making mud cakes. Falling off swings. You know, all that. So,
And then moved to Melbourne?
Yeah, moved to Melbourne.
And so your mama, papa, family are all here?
We're all here,
And I love what you were telling me, that that you learnt how to cook by watching your mum.
It's always fascinated me, like the way she cooks, because I always loved her food, and I was just like, how does this woman do this?
So was that your, so did that sort of spur you on to think, I'm going to be in hospitality? Was it
not really.
partnered?
I always, growing up, always thought, you know what, I'm going to be a mum just like my mum.
That's so cool.
And then like, just as I got older, and then I was just like, you know what, I actually really enjoy cooking and being around food. And then, I was like, food it is.
Amazing. And so did you have to go and study, or you're literally hands-on?
I'm more hands-on, like if you're going to give me books in theory, forget it.
I feel the same way.
Show me, teach me how to do it, and I've got it.
Visual. I love it. And so your background, your nationality, you're
Cambodian.
And so your mama would cook
Cambodian food.
Oh, tell us about this, because you know, I don't think a lot of, I wouldn't have a clue. I don't know.
I don't think a lot of people know about like Cambodian food, to be honest, because we got Chinese food, Vietnamese food, because they're really like, you know,
that's at the cafe. Because that's it. It's a blend of that kind of Vietnamese and Chinese.
Cambodian food is like, it's pretty similar to like Laos Thai food as well, kind of thing. Like we use a lot of like kaffir lime leaves, turmeric, lemongrass, and like galangal and all that stuff. And like we use, our main thing is like this fermented fish called bahok. It's really like smelly, but it tastes amazing.
Is that what you use to make like the broth, the main broth, that chicken broth thing?
No. So for like the wonton soup, you talking about? No,
wonton soup there is one of my favourite. It's like
what I use there is we use like a dried shrimp, dried squid, like this pickled fermented radish, and like chicken bones and pork bones, and like all these cut up veggies in the stock and stuff.
And so we're filming on a Tuesday, and your cafe is closed today, but we were just talking about what we were going to have for lunch, and it was definitely going to be that. So now we're talking about it, I'm a little bit salivating, going, dang, we cannot get it. So I won't be happy until I actually have that scratch itched.
You can come tomorrow.
I come tomorrow. And so there you are, watching your mum cook. And this is like, how old are you at that point?
Like, I was probably around, say, like 7, 8, because I was always around my mum, and auntie would be in the kitchen too, and then also with grandma as well at the time, you know. So like it was always them three in the kitchen cooking, because the men will always be out working.
So that was actually a real thing with you growing up. The nana, the grandma, auntie, you.
Because when we moved to Melbourne, we all actually lived in one house. So there was like three different families. There was like 13 of us in a 5-bedroom house.
I love it. And did you think that makes you really close, or just pissed off with everybody?
No, it actually made us really close. Like, even to now, I want a big family, because I love that big family aspect. Yes, there's a lot of drama. Sometimes you want to rip and pull someone's hair out because they won't shut up. But I love being around like family. Like, I feel like it made me really family oriented, and like, you know, like whenever I'm out doing something, I'm always be like, oh yeah, but my family would like this. My family would enjoy this.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. And you know, I remember when we had Jack, and we were in we're in Melbourne on our own. We don't have family in Melbourne, and really missing even just having my sister there or my mum or any like cousins or anything. You do feel a lot. You do feel quite isolated, and I remember thinking, I still do. I wish my family were here. You know, even though they drive you mental sometimes, and I'm sure I drive my family mental a lot of the times.
I do it too.
But you know, that whole kind of philosophy of it takes a village. To, you know, help raise your children and have them involved.
Which is true.
It's really true. That's, you know, back in the days, that's why they all stayed together and they helped out. You know, the children kind of, you know, went to that person and the auntie and the this and the that. And
like even now, like growing up, like with my own kids and my sister's kids and stuff, like we have to actually drive to like each other's houses, and like because she lives in Cranbourne, I'm in Keysborough, so I'm like, oh my god, you're so far, can't you be closer?
That's so not that far.
In traffic, it's so far.
Oh, you're hilarious. Not like you've got to catch the bus, girl.
Well, I was thinking about sending the kids on the bus, but apparently they're too young.
Oh, well, you're lucky that they're all here and your mother's here.
Exactly,
and so do you have like is there a traditional kind of, you know, Sunday get together kind of feast kind of thing?
Not really. So, because my parents and my brother are up in Shepparton. So they come down every Thursday or Friday, like once a week. Sometimes it's once every fortnight kind of thing. So we normally only get together when it's like massive events, say like Easter, like Cambodian New Year, like Chinese New Year.
When's Cambodian New Year?
In April. So April 14th,
like coming up?
13th. Yeah, it's coming up. Correct.
Oh, yeah. And so what would you do for that?
We like to go out to the temple because so the temple's in Springvale, because my uncle also, we have a family band.
Oh,
Look
what?
at that. I'm learning so much. A family band.
Like a band?
Yeah, like a band. Like a Cambodian
I did not know
band.
that.
Yeah, they perform at like weddings, birthdays, at the temple for New Year's and stuff.
Wow.
And my cousin sings and is like one of the singers in it too. Yeah.
I want to hear some Cambodian music.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know what it's
I sang 1 year at the temple, and oh my god, I was about to like die on stage. I had the worst stage fright ever. But
Oh, but sad. So you won't be singing again? It'll just be...
No, thank you.
Okay.
Maybe at home, in my own time.
I feel like I've been to that temple through my son's school visit.
Maybe.
Is that the one on Springvale Road?
Yeah.
And it's on, if you're driving down away from Chelsea, it's on the left-hand side?
Yeah, it's on the left-hand side. So you've got the Chinese temple, then you've got the Cambodian temple, then you've got the Vietnamese temple.
Yeah, I feel like we went to that one.
And whenever it's Cambodian New Year, you guys should go. Like, there's a lot of food and festivities going on there. And then,
the food. Yeah. See, I really want to get into this Cambodian food.
Yes, and we have got like these beef skewers. It's amazing. I actually gave it to Phil and Jack one time.
Oh.
Yeah.
And they didn't bring it home to me.
No, they ate it all.
Yeah, that's nice. Thanks, babe. Anywho, and so that's going to come up, and you'll get together for those sorts of big events and celebrate
and
together.
Like Christmas and stuff. Yeah,
you're right.
It's like a massive family affair.
Oh, I love it. Yeah. So family orientated.
Yeah.
So because you know, we know Sue through literally just going into the cafe, and when I come in, you're always so on and amazing. You just give off this beautiful happy energy, you know, a really
just positive vibes.
There it is, just a positive vibe. And it's lovely to see, like you actually really want to be there, and it feels like you're grateful to be there.
Because you know, I've always, you know, working in hospitality, I've always like, you know, wanted to end up having my own place one day, and I'm like, you know what, I finally got it, regardless of COVID or not. I'm here, I've made it, and I can make it better.
Oh my god. I love that attitude. I love that sort of feeling of have you always been such a positive kind of...
I think so, because like my friends have, like, they've always told me, is like, you know, because I'm always just happy, because I don't, and that's why they're like, you know, whenever, if they were to ever see me sad, they're like, it's just not normal for them. And that's when they know, like, oh my god, that's when something, it must be wrong, because I'm always so like up there, bubbly, you know, like I just try to find like positives in lives. That's why, because I'm like, if I dwell on the negatives, then it'll just be a mood killer. That's a really lovely trait to have, and especially being in hospitality. I mean, I think it would be really difficult. A really difficult thing to
to have a cafe, and the fact that you started it in such a extremely difficult time.
A pandemic, apparently.
Yeah. Like, you know, start, starting, so you couldn't get funding, all that sort of, all the millions of layers of things that were going on, and, you know, people not wanting to come out, and then only being able to have takeaway, you know, all of that. And through that, you know, you've come through to the other side. And still be really cheerful about it. You know, that's how, and that's why I wanted to get you on here, because I thought Sue is so fabulous. Like, every time we go in there, you know, it's a chitty chat, and
there's always something.
Yeah, there's always something, and I love that. You're a really nice person to be around.
Thank you.
I'm not even joking about that. And so, stand by, please, while I have a little bit of a drink and a think. So you juggle the cafe with being a mama.
Yes.
To boys.
Yes.
Which is a lot, which is amazing. And so how do you kind of do that? Because you were saying some of your families, you know, out in Share, but your sister's over there, and so is it literally just a juggle, and you just work it out?
It is kind of just a juggle, but I'm lucky because I've got my husband. He works like 3 days a week because he's part of the family business too, and he does night shifts, so most of the time he's at home during the day. So he takes the kids to school, you know, while the oldest one, he catches the bus. But the youngest one, he takes him to school, gets him ready and everything, and then because I close early, I can go pick him up. So it's like tag team kind of thing, Yeah.
And I think that's a really important thing when you know, with your partner, that it really is. If you're on board and you're, you know, besties, you can do all of that sort of stuff. Because there is no, unless you can afford to have a driver and a nanny and a cook and a cleaner and a
I wish. Maybe back in Asia.
And actually, speaking of, have you been to Cambodia?
Yeah, I have. I've been there a few times when I was younger. I haven't gone back for like a while now, though. Would love to, but haven't been back like in the last 6-7 years or so.
And did you grow up speaking the language?
I did, yeah.
Yeah, right. And so, do you speak it to your children as well?
I've tried, but it's just so hard because my husband's Malaysian, so when I'm speaking and he's like, "What?" I'm like, and then I end up saying it in English, and then it just malfunctions.
Yeah, right. Because a lot of friends that I have, if they're, you know, part Italian or Greek, they send their kids to Greek school or Italian school, or is there such a thing as a Cambodian
school? But they normally do it through like the temple and stuff as well.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but like I just find it like I've tried to speak Cambodian to my kids and stuff, but they're just like, huh? They pick up like a few words here and there, but then like when they're at school, they're speaking just English. So it's a hard thing. It's kind of hard to adapt, kind of, because whereas my parents, all they could speak was Cambodian at that time, so they had no choice but to speak only Cambodian to me.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so I think it was kind of easier in kind of that sense for me to pick it up faster. Whereas me, I speak both English and Cambodian, so I'm just so comfortable with English that like I just speak English to them. Yeah.
And so they understand English now?
They understand, and they understand bits and parts of Cambodian words.
Yeah, right. And so that must have been a hard decision to go from New Zealand and pack up everyone and come to Melbourne. And then what was that? Why did they do that?
So what happened was my uncle actually moved to Melbourne first, and then we're like, no, you can't leave us, kind of thing. So later on, like a year after, we ended up picking up from New Zealand and moving to Melbourne too. And then when we all moved to Melbourne, we kind of started like all at the really bottom. So we all shared one house and everything. So it was good though.
Oh, I bet you that was so much fun.
Yeah. But it was like honestly like starting from the bottom, like the bottom, and then like we moved up in life and everything, which is good. And like that's what made me value like hard work and everything. Like watching my parents when I was younger and seeing how hard they worked for us, because like they came from literally nothing and made like a life for themselves here.
Wow. That reminds me of the Happiest Refugee, you know, Ando. Have you ever read his book?
Yes, I haven't read his book, but I know who he is,
what a journey.
Yeah.
You know, like his parents left to give him a better life here, and really just worked really hard because they were so grateful just to be out of a war zone and, you know, this terrible life. When did your folks move over?
My folks fled, so it was during the Khmer Rouge time, the Pol Pot War. So they ran like with their own separate families, like to like different refugee camps. My parents actually met in a refugee camp for a day. And Mum was like, I'm marrying him.
I love him. You'll be my husband.
Yeah, and then she forced my grandparents to sponsor him to New Zealand because Mum actually left to New Zealand the next day and then forced them to sponsor him over. And Dad actually lied to my grandparents saying he was an only child. He's actually got 8 other brothers.
Why not?
Yeah, because my grandpa was like, oh, he doesn't want her to marry off into like a big family because there's always so much drama, and Mum was the only girl as well. And he's like, no, it's just me. And then after they got married, he found out he had like 8 other brothers and all this stuff.
At the wedding? Who are these people?
At the wedding, yeah.
Who are all these people? There's like all these people going, hey bro.
What's
you're
up?
like, what?
You remember me, I'm your older brother.
Yeah, and then you've got 8 siblings, and so he's got 8 siblings.
Yeah, but Mum's also got 7 siblings as well. So Mum's the only girl and she's got 7 brothers. And Dad's a family of 9 and he's got 8 brothers. So can you imagine my first cousins?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Are they all in Melbourne or are they
most of them are, and I've got like most of them here and then most of them back in Cambodia and then some in America. We're just all over the place. Every country I visit, there's probably someone there.
Yeah. And so would you ever have like a huge big family reunion? I love our family reunions.
We had one on Mum's side, but that was for like, you know, Grandpa's anniversary kind of thing. And that's when we all came home. Holy crap, I've got that many cousins. Like, yeah, this is your cousin, that's your auntie, that's your uncle, that's your cousin. I'm like, okay then.
Oh wow.
It's really overwhelming when you meet them for the first time because I'm just like, my husband still doesn't remember any of their names.
No, it's a difficult thing to do, you know. Jack even has trouble remembering his, you know, 3 cousins from like on one side, and then there's like all these other ones, and then there's step cousins and the thing, and there's like all this extended family, and he can't, and I go, well, that's okay, it's fine.
I can barely remember my own, so
How fascinating. And so obviously your parents loved it enough in Melbourne to set up and stay, and then your parents set up a vegetable growing business.
So Dad actually used to work in like a factory, and then out of nowhere he decided one day, I'm gonna rent a farm, and then he rented a farm and started growing vegetables.
And how old was he when he did that?
He was like in his 40s. Yeah.
I'm just going to do that.
I'm just going to rent a farm. Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love that sort of drive and detemination and I'm going to do that.
Yeah, because I think like when he was back in Cambodia, like him, his brothers, and like my grandpa as well, like they were like basically doing farming there too. So
they knew.
He knew like, okay, I've got this kind of thing.
I know how to make the. Yeah. And this is interesting because my granddad, Hong Sui Fong, he used to have a vegetable growing business in New Zealand in as well. And Mum was saying that he used to sow the seeds and the seedlings by moonlight, or something like that. There was a specific time that he had to do it. Is there like little secrets that they do?
I have no idea.
They're like, no, you're not going to know because that's our secret.
That's our secret. I can't tell you.
Okay.
No, but I wouldn't have any idea. I just thought, I'm a farm girl now, guys. But when my dad said he was getting a farm, I thought like horses, cows, animals, and then I went there. I was like, where is everything?
Yeah.
What do I write? It's just the bok choy. And I'm like, oh, okay then, never mind.
I love it. So all like Asian vegetables.
Yeah, Asian greens like bok choy, Chinese broccoli, coriander, spring onions, spinach, like radish, all that stuff.
And then that goes all over Melbourne.
All over Melbourne.
To restaurants and people and markets.
Grocery stores, you know, your Woolies.
Really? I love that. That's amazing. Yeah. Do you just feel so proud of what they've achieved?
Yeah, I do, because I saw how hard they've worked for it. Yeah. Because they started from this little patch of land and now they've got like acres of land up in Shepparton. So to see them come from that and get to where they are now, that's why I'm like, you know, I'm with the cafe that I've got now, I'm like, I'm not giving up too.
Bring it on.
Exactly, I've got this. If they can go through that, I can go through this kind of thing.
Oh, I love this story. I knew there was a reason why I wanted to know more about you. There's a lot more to that meets the eye.
Yeah.
And so what do you think you're going to, so skip forward like 5 years, what do you reckon you're going to be doing?
Well, hopefully I'll still be there.
I reckon you will be. If you want to be there, you'll definitely be there.
Well, I've got more plans for the cafe, you know, later down in the future. I do want to renovate the whole thing, you know, bring in a chef, revamp up the menu, keep the ones that we love though, and like, you know, just have like more stuff added kind of thing, you know.
Do you think you'll open at night?
I would want to, I would love to, but I need to see the amount of foot traffic it does do. And with the train station getting built now, hopefully it will give me the opportunity to open at night and extend the hours instead.
Yeah. It's interesting because we actually used to live in Chelsea before Jack was born.
Yeah.
And so we were there, you know, like a good 15, 16, 17 years ago.
Yeah.
And the difference between what it looks like even now to back then is incredible. Yeah. So, you know, I don't imagine it's going anywhere other than gangbusters, because especially when the train station,
exactly,
you know, you get more traffic. That's what I'm
banging on right now.
Oh yeah, because it's such a beautiful part of the world, and it's a beautiful beach as well. It is, which is a stone throw from your cafe.
Yeah, and I've noticed as well, like, you know, with most people in Chelsea as well, they travel more down to one side and then they don't really go down the other side, and then when they do go down that side, they're like, oh, here you are.
Yeah.
What's this place?
Yeah, and I think, look, I've noticed there's a couple of shops that are vacant.
Yes,
but I think that's just then opportunity for new stores, and you know, like the demographic in Chelsea's changing a lot. There's a lot more families coming in, and people that actually want, like our family. I mean, we're sort of in that range of wanting to go. We want to go somewhere that has nice food, and we want to sit down, and we want to be able to have all of that sort of stuff. Whereas before it was, I don't know. It's not even a Subway there. I don't even know what's. There wasn't that opportunity. There wasn't that, but there is now, and there's little by little,
like diversity, basically.
Exactly, diversity, and just being able to not just have, because you have both at your cafe. Yes. You have this beautiful, you know, you can get bacon and eggs and avo and feta and all that sort of beautiful stuff, but then you can have
also get your Asian side.
This taste of the Asian specialties and the pork rolls. Oh, I feel so bad. I feel so annoyed that you're not open. In my head, I'm like, I don't know, maybe I'll just go make something now.
I don't know, there's like this pork rolls, wontons. Oh, what do you have in your fridge?
That's how I feel. A little bit of fresh coriander and the pate and the okay, stop talking about it. Just stop talking about it. Oh, well, that's fantastic. And okay, so look, we are going to put all your links to the cafe, and everyone needs to go there, because Sue is the lady that you need to go and see.
That is.
I'm actually signing up to Uber Eats now, and silly me, what I did when I was signing up to Uber Eats, I was meant to put the cafe address, and here I am typing it in. I put my home address because apparently I'm moving the cafe to my house.
Oh no! Yeah, but you can change that.
Yeah, so I had to like email them, call them up, and everything, and be like, "Hi, just me."
Hey, it's Sue again.
So, you know, Blended Café isn't located at my house. You know, don't send Uber drivers there.
This is fantastic. So now, like by the time this goes to air, we'll be able to get.
Hopefully,
Uber
I'll be on Uber Eats. Yeah, because I'm on Menu Log at the moment and DoorDash.
True.
Yeah.
So that's another whole thing. So this is just, you know, before we finish up though, but you know, having a cafe is not just about, you know, trying to work out, I guess, what you think people want to eat. Yeah. You know, and that's all on you.
Yeah.
Doing all of the paperwork and around that, and finding your suppliers.
Yes.
And gauging how much food you get and all that sort of stuff. But then all of the other levels of the administration and stuff around, like, how do you get onto?
How do you get yourself out there?
How do you get yourself out there?
What's a better platform to go on for delivery and stuff, kind of as well? So you just always got to try every single one of them.
See, I don't even do any of them.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm the last one in the world that does.
I have all of them, because like there's some restaurants that I love, like this
that aren't on,
that are on Uber Eats, but they're on like DoorDash.
Yes.
So it's so annoying. Like, can't you just be on all of them? But like, but they obviously do different rates.
Yeah, there's different rates, and also it's like, you know, some of them charge like an arm long. Like, and if you're starting off as well, it's kind of like, oh, how do I kind of get myself out there, but also kind of save myself some money as well, you know.
Because they're all the same drivers or bike riders.
Yeah,
like they're not.
they are
different. Like they're the same. So it just depends. Yeah.
And that's why with Menu Log we're like, you know, we're driving ourselves instead of like getting someone else to drive for us. Yeah. Because it's less as well. And then also we know that the food's getting there and back. But then,
well, there's that. And so we will definitely be doing that, and we'll tag, and you know, I think if anybody is in the area, they need to. And when are you open? You're open.
So from Wednesdays till Monday, from 8 till 2. Yeah.
And then on the weekend, what did you say? Wednesdays
till some Monday.
Till Monday. Yeah, so you just have a Tuesday off.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. And just remind me, what does YOLO mean again?
You only live once.
Okay, so that's Sue's hot tip to take away. That's Sue Wong from Blended Café. You need to get down there. And her philosophy in life is YOLO. You only live once.
Exactly.
You only live once. I love it. Thank you so much for being on How Fabulous.
Thank you for having me.
It's been lovely.